Well, I'm very excited about our next guest here because she has joined me on my radio show before, but never here on Watch DA Live. You see her on the BetQL network daily. This is Monday through Friday. You can see her. She appears at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And then also on Sunday nights as well on the BetQL network. I mean, check out the names of these shows. You've got Bet Slips and Bat Flips. That's amazing. And
Oh,
also
yeah.
Back to the Futures, which is plugging or tugging on my heartstrings for my nostalgia. So joining us here on the show is one of my good friends, Lucy Burdge, sports betting analyst. Lucy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, DA. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, it was great to be on your radio show, and I'm really happy to be back with you right now. And those shows, those titles are amazing. The Bet Slips and Bat Flips show. We just started that show about a month. I want to say a month ago. And when we were coming up with the name, I liked that. We all liked that name, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is great. Then realized throughout the show, I say it multiple times, saying this is Bet Slips and Bat Flips on the BetQL network. And I thought, oh my God, this is more opportunity for me to mess up. So I realizing that I was like, oh, it should just be like betting, baseball, whatever. And so it's a baseball show. But no, I've gotten it down. I can rap M&M lines. I can say bet slips and bat flips. Like if I could do that, I can say that. It's really it gets easier as you go.
You're really making your life harder than it has to be by
Right.
making that your title.
Yeah, well, like Elle Woods said in Legally Blonde, she's not afraid of a challenge. So bet slips and bat flips. If that's the toughest thing going in my life right now, I'm fine. I go to sleep going bet slips and bat flips, bet slips and bat flips.
I would too. I would be so nervous about messing that up all the time. But that's good that you got this thing down. So we just wrapped up the Masters today, and I'm wondering, now that the Masters is done, moving forward, do you have any tips for our viewers for how to bet golf moving forward? Got a couple more majors this summer, but the Masters really starts up the golf season.
This is true. The Masters is my favorite because of the background noise, the birds and the flowers and the sunshine. And it's just beautiful, beautiful. There are other ways to bet on golf if you don't want to bet on an outright winner, because that, of course, is very tricky. I had Cam Smith for the Masters plus 4,000 heading into the tournament, but there are other ways to do this, which I am going to do more often. I think you can bet on top 10 finish, top 20 finish. There's a little bit of wiggle room with there. There's a little bit, of course, it's sexier to bet on the one player to win. But if you want a little bit more wiggle room, I would suggest betting on so-and-so top 10 finish, so-and-so top 20 finish, because there's a little bit easier and a little more likely. And there's still some value. So I think that is a fun way to go when you're betting on golf for the rest of the season.
And was this a hard lesson to avoid betting on Tiger the rest of the year?
Yes, because of course your heart always wants to bet on Tiger, but it's not so much anymore. Like not this tournament. This tournament, I had zero interest in betting on Tiger, but in the past, of course, you want to bet on Tiger Woods to win because it would be a magical story. And he's Tiger freaking Woods. Of course you want to bet on him, but I wouldn't suggest it. Maybe ever. I don't know. His back is an issue. Although he did the best commercial ever for a Genesis cars, because that accident, that car, he came out unscathed. So that has changed my life. I think I'm going to get a Genesis.
I like that. I like that idea a lot. Lucy Burdge is a sports betting analyst for the BetQL network, also Odyssey Sports and BetMGM. And her Twitter and Instagram follows are just phenomenal. She's at Lucille Burdge. I mean, just phenomenal. And every day you do a fit check. And I'm wondering, do you feel now there's more pressure to hit winning bets or to make sure your fit check is tight?
Yeah, DA, you know what I'm thinking about when I go to sleep? Is it who's gonna be in the lineup tomorrow, or it's what am I wearing tomorrow?
I'm wondering.
So this is what I do. I go to sleep after I win all my bets, of course, every day. And I go to sleep and I'm like, all right, what are you wearing tomorrow? And I go to sleep and I think about the inventory in my closet and I think about my tops, what goes with what. Like, oh, tomorrow feels like a leather skirt day. And then sometimes I'll wake up and feel completely different. Like, oh, I want to wear spring colors today, or I want to wear all leather and black today. Or it depends. How today is a leather jumpsuit day. Things like that. Velvet jumpsuit day might be coming up actually, because I saw that in my closet today and I was like, kind of get back into that. Literally. And so it's whatever the day brings sometimes, but before I go to sleep, I get some ideas. I'm like, this is the color I want to wear.
So your inspiration actually comes the night before. It's not when you wake up and you look in your closet or to look at how you feel for the day. It happens the night before you process this more deep data analytics that you're doing.
Exactly. So it's all day analytics, all day DA analytics from clothes to like makeup. Like, oh, this new makeup product. That's my little guilty pleasure. I found that activates that part of my brain. I just look at makeup and like what's on sale and what's new and what's this formula. So then I think, well, I've worn a lot of black lately. I'm gonna wear a color tomorrow, like yellow. Maybe yellow is a good one too. Blue, perhaps. But then I wake up. So that's the clothes is like night, first thing in the morning. Then you move into crunching numbers. So the flow of the day goes from clothes and makeup and hair to numbers, and then back to clothes, because then you do your videos, at least 2, because I promote BetMGM. And then you change the outfit. Of course, you change the outfit for the second one, because then you say, oh, the fit's changed.
I didn't realize that. So you're doing 2 fit checks every single day. That's a lot. I mean, that wardrobe changes for you.
Yeah. Luckily I work from home, because, lugging all those clothes around would be it would be, a bit of a struggle, but sometimes I wear heels with it too. So you bring different shoes, but sometimes I will wear like the other day I was wearing Seinfeld sweatpants and then I changed into shorts. So it's just the flow of the day. Like, no, you know what? Maybe I want to wear shorts now. And then you're like, okay, I'll do another video because I have a different outfit. And I have other bets.
Are your sweatpants from Seinfeld more Jerry or more George?
They're probably more George. Definitely more George. They are also, my fit inspo for that was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow owns the same sweatpants. So I said, you know what? I have to have these. So I was like, yeah, George Costanza, just, lying around working for the Yankees.
One of the toughest things to bet, I think, in the NBA playoffs is whether to just go Celtics or the field, because Boston's been the best team in basketball this entire season, by far and away the best record of the Eastern Conference in the NBA. And yet we sit here with a lot of early round, I wouldn't say early round, but I mean, flameouts before they even got to the finals. They've not been able to hang a banner yet. Now, you've seen the Celtics as closely as anyone. So how confident do you feel about the Celtics and betting on them going into the playoffs?
Yeah, DA, it is confidence level midnight I have in the Celtics coming into the playoffs. This team cannot flame out again. They can't do it, because they did it last year and they just fell apart right before your eyes, and you watched them like it felt like the TV was getting slower and slower and slower, and they lost. This year, they can't do that, because this is championship or bust. How mortifying would that be if they fall apart again? No way. I do think it will be Celtics Nuggets finals, but I think the Celtics will be very successful in the finals. I think they'll win it. But I have much more confidence in the Celtics this year than I did last year, because they're hungrier, because in no way do they want that to happen again. So if it comes to Celtics in the field, I am taking the Celtics all day long.
Also, it's a better team. It's a more well-rounded team. I think the Porzingis edition has been huge for them. 100%. And the holiday edition's been huge for them. So it does feel like they're better suited, I think, to win the NBA Finals this year, unlike maybe previous years when they've had really good teams. But this year does feel like it's a level up from previous years, doesn't it?
Definitely, especially with Porzingis. I think he has made a massive difference. Also, I think the combination of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have to win a championship at some point. And now that they have pieces like Porzingis in the Holiday, I think this is a team that is a championship or bust, but they are primed to win it. Like, they could be like the UConn Huskies and roll right through it, and it'll be a little boring, where it's like, of course the Celtics are going to win it. But with the Celtics, though, UConn, you knew it. Like, they've done it before. This Celtics team at any moment could fall apart. So throughout the finals, I will, and I think everybody will, be scared all the time. Just scared. Like, oh, tonight's the night. Tonight's the night they lose everything. And tonight's the night they fall apart and they never regain it. Like, you just keep your composure throughout the finals and you'll be fine. Or not the finals, let's say throughout the playoffs.
Well, I want to wrap up with this. I think one of the reasons that you're so successful is that you feel very comfortable in front of the camera, and people feel like they know you. And so you have your personality that is out there. It's not just picks. I mean, you truly, I think, connect with. So they're very comfortable with you. Sometimes maybe a little too comfortable with you.
They're eager to connect with me.
Very, very eager. Earlier this week, I mean, there was a tweet from you that was laugh out loud hysterical, but it was inspired by another person's response to one of your tweets. So here it is on the screen right now. We had to blur out most of what this guy, Mike F., was tweeting at you, but he said he had a lot of affinity for you. I think he wanted to get to know you a little bit better, and he was willing to get to know other people better who had known you better. I think that would be a way to summarize it. And you just said, sir, this is a Wendy.
Because what the hell, Mike F? This is not my DMs. I will say I don't get that many even DMs. And I don't get DMs, and I don't get DMs like this. Surprisingly, I don't. And this stopped me in my tracks. And I honestly, I let it marinate a little bit throughout the day because I was like, do I call attention to this? The day was ending, and I was like, you know what? This is still in my head. I got to do something with this because this guy, it's not like I tweeted, like this is in public. This is public, sir. This is a post hog on main material. This is crazy. So all I could think of was, this is not the time or place for this. This is the Wendy's. This is like, we can read the words you're typing. This guy was inspired by what set him into this thinking that he was like, I have to make sure that this is in writing in public. This is,
like you said, it's not even a DM. This is not in private. This was a response to one of your tweets. I mean,
also, at no point in that sentence did I know what the next word was going to be. Because that was just a graphic. That guy wants to do a lot of things. He's very busy. He's a very busy guy. And I don't even know in what scenario what he's talking about could even like there's a lot of people involved in what he's talking about. You have to coordinate times. You got to figure out.
It's all scheduling. It really is.
This guy has a planner that he writes down who, what, and when every single day. It sounds like he wants to schedule something. And Mike F, I'm sorry, but not happening. But there were people who were like, this guy should be like, his life should be over. And I was like, guys, it's not. He was a compliment. I think it wasn't like, oh, she should die. Like, no. It's like, everybody just move on with your day. There were people that were like, I saw this, I was just scrolling, eating dinner. And I was like, so was I. Just going about my day. If I have to see this, you all have to see this too.
Mike F is a very busy guy. He set a lot of iPhone alarms. He just wants to be punctual about all the activities he's interested in.
It's a 2-step process, apparently, and he wants to just do all of it. He's got like, okay, it's time for this now. Like, like, okay, first of all, it's in his mind, and he's like, I gotta get this out of my mind. I gotta let everybody know this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I need a 30 for 30 on the making of that tweet. Because why would you do that? Oh my God.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for sharing.
Yes, it was in his draft for a bit. And then he was like, you know what? Tweet.
Check out Lucy Burdge, the BetQL Network, every day, weekdays, 2 until 2:30 Eastern time. Then on Sunday nights as well there. Follow her on Instagram and on X at Lucille Burdge. She's the best. She's on the BetQL Network. She's on the Odyssey Sports Network. She's also on BetMGM, so she's all over the place. And she's very kind enough to spend some time with us, and she's got a great sense of humor, and we appreciate that very much. We like to laugh around here, and you do it as well as anybody. So, Lucy, thanks so much for joining us. I hope we can make this a regular event here.
I really hope so. The honor and pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me, and I am back anytime.